The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good. Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. We're going to take a look at the German DAX and the FTSE. As you can see, the FTSE is in a much more pronounced down move than the DAX is, but they both turned over just a little bit. The big news overnight, folks, was the Hang Seng Index in Hong Kong was down more than 4%. That's a huge move, and we've been expecting that to happen, and it really broke down badly. We got down to, we were 28.8 just the other day, and we broke 26,000 today, so it's just had a tremendous move to the downside. That's several standard deviations away from the mean, so that means something, but what, we don't know. Okay, let's take a memory course here that we're going to have Stan Harley Stock Market Cycles as our guest today. That'll be at 12:30, and I'll also be doing Tom O'Brien's show at 3:30 this afternoon. I'll be doing that. Now, we've had a request from one of our good folks down there in Houston, Texas, and we're going to bring this up. By the way, everybody, let's have some clapping here. We got a birthday boy here, Dr. Mark P. in the den here. I think he's 39 years old today. God bless you, my son. He's the guy who you always want to have your back, pal. He's a stand-up guy. Happy birthday to you, and I can hear that sound of one hand clapping right now, but I hope you have a great day. Anyway, let's take a look here at this GDX. This is a gold and silver miners. You can see here that we had the big move up back in February. That was not a big deal. We went up to where the 786 was hit in August. Now, we've been chopping around here, and the reason why I'm bringing up the weekly first is because you're going to see some pretty good support here in the gold miners. Now, this will be the daily that I'm going to bring up, and we're setting very, very close to the 78% level, and you'll be able to see it right here. Right around that 33 area is going to be some pretty strong support. We've been here now for 5 days. All week we've been above 33. So this thing is getting ready to do something, and my assumption is we're getting ready to rally in that, and I think we could probably get a rally in gold and silver too, but this is definitely good. Now, if we get below 32.50, all bets are off. So here's what the pattern is for. It's for risk control. And if you can control your risk with something like that, you're far better off than if you don't. And that's what the whole thing is about. So let's keep in mind. Now, last night, folks, we had our videos went out. We had a couple of monster wins last night in the videos. One of the ones, of course, I'll bring this up and let you folks take a look at it. Just for the reason why I'm giving you this is the kind of thing we're going to be covering on our August 5th all-day trading session. You know, we were looking for the market there. You see number 5 where it says 72.41. The high in the crude oil was 72.43. It then broke $1,500. Down to the 786 of the previous day. So that was a pretty big win. And then the other one that was really interesting, and that was the bond market. We had a really nice perfect ABCD coming up there at 165.06. The high was 165.10. That one's made about $1,200. And then we had one other that we have to bring up. I didn't post it because it happened so fast, but we've been watching it for a very, very long time, and that is none other. Are you ready, boys and girls? None other than our natural gas that we've been watching for a very, very long time. Let's get this little puppy up here so we can see it here. This is basically the August contract, but it's rolling over. August goes off the board tomorrow, but it hit the exact 78% level, folks, in the September. It also hit it in the August too, but it hit and it's dropped well over $1,700. So it's had a pretty big up and down move today. The thing that was interesting about it is that you could have put your order in right at the fib number and used a $3 stop, and and you had very little risk. So that's That's what it's for. These are the kind of things we're going to be covering on August the 5th, but there's a lot of other stuff, too, that we'll be working on. But that's the main thing. We're going to do 5 hours of teaching and trading, more trading than teaching, but we'll do a lot of teaching because you don't trade for 5 hours. You put a trade on and you talk in between. So that's the main thing. Now, let me talk to you about something that I sent out, and I knew something was wrong when I sent this out, but I had to send it out. This is really quite funny. The market had not opened yet, okay? Here, it had not opened yet. Now, the high that we made Friday at 209, okay, that was a 78% retracement on the long-term weekly chart in Coffey. Then the market came down, so the old cowboys looking to possibly, if the market opens here around the 195 level, to possibly take a trade on that. But I mentioned, this is a gap up. Not very good. And then also I put a little caveat here. In order not to sell, but to learn the importance of the 382 trade. I don't trade coffee. I haven't, and I'm not going to now, but I wanted to show the pattern. And boy, was I spot out right on this one, folks. You're not going to believe it. Wait till you see this. This is why I don't trade coffee. Let me get it up here so we can take a quick look at it here. There we go. Hold on, boys and girls. There we go. Okay, it opened at 198. And the high today has been 208, so we've almost went back to the old high there. The reason why, folks, is there's a weather market in Brazil. They're having frost down there, and that's causing a lot of problems. We had one other trade that we'd posted, and that was to buy the November soybeans, and we missed that by about 6 cents. And that would have been another big winner, but we didn't get that one off the books. So that's it. If you're in that hog trade, it's continued to work. I assume it's never been stopped out. The last price I saw that it was heading down a little bit, but that's another one that we've been watching, here for quite some time. So those are just a couple of the things that we want to cover here this morning to let the folks know. We're having great volatility in these markets, folks. I mean, you can see here the Dow Jones was down 300 points last night around 2 in the morning, and when you come in today, it goes up and makes a new high. So there's no holding these things back, that's for sure. They have been following a pattern that has been moving along ever since, and it continued again. Just get this up here. This is the hourly chart. We'll get this up here to let you look at it. This is the you'll see the number on the NASDAQ up there, 5130. We hit that. We backed off to another 382 retracement last night. We backed off. We were over 100 points down, I believe. And so we've had some big moves in these things, and we're going to continue to see incredible volatility. Folks, when you're seeing volatility like you're seeing in China and also in Hong Kong and, even in the FTSE and NASDAQ or German DAX doing very little, but we're getting great volatility in here, folks. When you see the market, down 300 and then up 100, look what we did Friday. I mean, from Friday till from Monday to Friday, we moved 1,200 points, and we got Mr. Z in the house. John, how are you?
Larry, I'm doing very well. Thanks for taking the call, sir.
Well, you were one of 10. You just happened to be lucky today, buddy.
I know. I paid Big Al, the producer, a pretty penny to get in first.
Good point.
Say, wanted to ask you two things. The bonds was the key thing, but before getting to that, just a question on the NASDAQ and the S&P futures. I recall
can you hold on,
Friday, your conversation.
John, we got to pay.
He had.
We got to pay a few bills, John. Stay with us, okay? Stay with us.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the opening call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the opening call risk-free today.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, we're back and we're talking with Mr. Z out of Philly. And what can we do for you, my friend?
Okay, Larry, very specific question on the NQs or the ESs. With these marginally higher highs over Friday and the data Norm Winsky shared with you Friday on your show, are you attracted to any short scalping trade on either of those here?
Is this a trick question, John?
This is a trick question.
John, I saw last night when the market opened, I saw that we were getting ready for a big break, and we did have a big break. We were down 300 in the Dow Jones. But, John, if you would have had me make a bet, I would have given you 100-to-1 odds that we couldn't make new highs today, and I would have lost that bet. So what you need to do, John, is to find someone numbers that knows the answer to that question, because I don't know. Longer term, I think we're in an area we're seeing volatility and stuff like that. It literally scares me to death, but nobody else is scared. So all I'm saying is how it made new highs again. Now the Nasdaq just barely made new highs, and so did the Dow Jones. It's the S&P has moved up another 4 or 5 points. But I saw what's happened in Hong Kong and some of these other places, and gee whiz, they're getting ready to teach someone a lesson besides myself, and I've got a big notebook here where all my notes are full, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I am looking.
All right,
I'm looking
now to a really serious.
Yeah, go ahead.
The December bond futures, please. I noticed early, it was 4, 5, 6 a.m. somewhere in there. The September bond futures moved up and made a high at 165.12. It looked to me like it was potentially completing an ABCD pattern, topping just a touch under the Fib 618s. So my question to you is, having put on a short kind of up near 165 early, 6 or 7 this morning, how do you handle that trade coming down? Are you particularly quick to book a gain? Would you let this ride? I'd just like to hear your thoughts on that, please.
Well, John, that's something that's helped me over the years of doing this is I always like to buy on the very high tick. And I like to, sell on the high tick, and then I like to buy on the low tick. But not many people are able to do it. But I can do it almost. I can do it almost every time, like 5 out of 100. But after you sell, we were selling at 165.05. That was the 382 of the ABCD move. We were risking 10 pips, so we just barely, 17 was our stop. It got to 12. But once you've made 15 pips, which is $500 out of risking 300. If you're trading multiple contracts, you really should take one off there, put your stop at break even. Under any circumstances, you would have put your stop at break even. Well, fortunately on this one, it went down and made 3 profit objectives. Dropped all the way down to $1,200, and it stayed there for a while, bounced a little bit. But that's basically when you're trading off of a 15 or 30-minute chart, the way I think you have to do it, because many people, what they'll do, and I've done it many times myself, is they'll put it on at 165.05, and as soon as they see a print at 164.31, they start looking at a monthly chart to see how much they're going to make. And boy, is that's a major problem. So when you're trading a 15-minute chart, it's a 15-minute chart. If you're trading a 30-minute chart, it's a 30-minute chart. It's always about risk control. So that's how I try to. I hope that helps, but that's what. By the way,
let me ask you just a follow-up to that, please. If in fact the high last week, that was the one up near 167, if that was a high that holds for a time, the bounce high, the lower high this morning, 165.12, could be the C point, if you will, in an unfolding A, B to CD pattern. If that's what this is, of course I don't know if it is, but if it is, and if we get an AB equals CD down, that targets down near 161.5 roughly. So we're 164, 161.5. That's another 2.5 points, $2,500 lower per contract. Yes. Would you be looking at your chart work? Would you be playing for something like that, or don't you bother with that sort of idea?
No, what I did was I looked at that on a 30-minute chart and an hourly chart. So what I said, if I made my first objective. Now, what I'm watching for is after we've broken well over a point, if this is really bearish, and it certainly looks for, the first thing I would look for is a 38% retracement back of that big move down. And that would allow me to get in and only risk about another 10 pips if I'm right. So that's how I would handle it. So that it hasn't quite made that number yet, but that's what I'm looking at as we speak right now.
I appreciate that very detailed discussion. That's exactly what I was looking for, just to get your view on how to handle that. So thanks so much, and thanks in advance.
No. Hey, no, dude, you're not going anywhere, boy. We got to chat here a minute.
Oh, man. I thought I got out scot-free.
No. We got to put you in the hopper on this one, buddy, because you have nailed this puppy for just about forever. I want to bring it up so the folks can see it again, folks. He's been bullish for so long. There is your number in the natural gas on the weekly. We hit it within 3 ticks today, and then, of course, we broke $1,600. But that was one hell of a move, and we call that a bearish Gartley right up there at the 786. So hats off to you, pal. You've been telling the folks here that you thought it was going way above 110, and it hit 118 and change. So that's pretty good. Very good. Yeah, that I like the way you use those long-term numbers. I must confess, Larry, I haven't gotten to the level of confidence and proficiency in dealing with the fib numbers on the very longer-term charts. But to see that spot nat gas futures contract get up, tag the 786, and then turn abruptly and exactly at that level is just, I must confess, it's just, it's a sight to behold. Well, John, we can correct this. You can take my advanced specialized Fibonacci training course. It's $30,000. I only have 2. I've just been told by Sarah that both spots have been taking. So maybe next year, if something pops up, we'll try to squeeze you in, okay?
Excellent. Gosh, I'll look forward to that. Just keep that spot open for me, sir. I'd appreciate it.
Hey, we love you, and thanks for doing all what you do for TFNN and some of the trades you've posted, boy. I mean, that's it. You liked Coffey when it was 119 and it hit 210 on Friday. I mean, that's some heck of a move.
No, it hit 215 this morning, Larry. Went to higher highs.
Did it? Oh, see, I saw it because when I posted the thing, I said, "There's no way I'm trading this Coffey," because it hadn't opened yet. I had no idea there was a frost in Brazil, and when my limit minder went off, I said, "Oh my God, what happened?" And I looked and I said, "Oh, this is going to be funny." So, well, that's what they're there for.
Thanks for having Stan on. We'll look forward to his talk.
Oh, yeah, he's always good. We'll be back, folks, in just a few minutes. If you have any questions, 877-927-6648, and we'll be happy to answer any questions. We will have Stan Harley on next to talk to us about the market, and as it continues to go higher and higher and higher. So we'll be right back. I have one other chart that I wanted to show, and I think I'll be able to do it. Oh, here's what I wanted to do. I have a second. Here's a follow-up on that NASDAQ, folks, that we were just talking about, how it goes to these numbers where the algo boys come in. Bring it up.
Are you having fun trading the markets, but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, with Stan Harley, the award-winning Harley Stock Market Letter. Stan, how are you?
I'm just doing awesome, Larry.
This is what we like to hear. Keep living the dream, my friend. What are you looking at today, buddy? How many more thousands points are we going up?
Well, I don't think we're going to see thousands of points, but I think we're really late in the game here in this intermediate run that's gone, more than 9 months off the late October bottom. I think we are just within a gnat's hair of what could be a pivotal turn. This thing has, it has continued a little bit further to the right in time than I had earlier envisaged. I thought perhaps the high we saw back a couple of weeks ago on July 14th might have done it. But we've inched slightly above those highs in a couple of indices, not all indices, but some. The divergences that existed then are even more pronounced now. So when I put it all together and put it in the sifter and give it a good shake, I think the risk of putting on some serious long money here would be high risk, very high risk indeed. I think we're very, very close to a pivotal high, Larry.
Okay, well, that makes sense. You said sometime, I think it was the last time you were on, there was a big date in, wasn't it around August, the first week in August, that you had something that was a cycle date? Someone has asked that question. I'm just repeating the question. Is that correct? You have looking at something in August?
Fibonacci time progressions in advance, and there is some standard deviation associated with that.
Okay.
And we're still within that standard deviation, so we're not outside the window. The centroid of it was a couple of weeks ago. We're now further to the right, but not out of the bounds of what is statistically plausible. Okay. So I still contend we are very, very close. And as we look at some charts here, I think folks might get some insight into what I'm watching very closely here.
Okay, now the second chart that you've sent us is the one on the Dow Jones Transportation on the weekly, and that certainly has had a pretty big break. And what are you looking for in the divergence? This goes back to the Dow theory with Richard Russell, who passed away a few years ago. But that theory had been around and has been pretty well proven for many years, but now it's dismissed by everybody. But what's your feeling on that, Stan?
Larry, I think the theory has validity, but I don't just confine myself to just looking at two indices. I look at five.
Okay.
And I call them the big five. And for me, the big five are the Dow Jones Industrials, the Dow Jones Transports, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ Composite, and the New York Composite. Okay. And to a lesser extent, the Russell 2000. So if you wanted to throw the sixth one in there, I would include the Russell. But what I do is I look for either confirmation or divergences among those big five. And what typically happens as tops are formed, they usually take several weeks, sometimes months to form. But as the topping process evolves over time, we tend to see fewer and fewer components among the big five grouping make new highs. And that's what's happening right now. Right now, we've got the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 and just barely the Dow, and I mean barely by millimeters, taking out its May 10th high. Not so the Dow Transports. Look at that chart of the Dow Transports on the screen. Yeah. The transports are more than 10% below their high from a couple of months ago. I mean, that's not trivial. That's significant. Yeah. And I've looked at many, many cycles over decades, and the transports, in my experience, are either the first or the last to top out in a topping evolution. And so in the current run, it looks to me like they are going to be the first to top out. And it's just, that's how tops are made. You get divergences and we get fewer and fewer stocks and fewer indices at the final pivotal high. And I think we're there. It maybe this week. Another index, the other chart that I sent you, the New York Composite, which is the broadest measure of market activity. It too is well off its high from a month ago, and that is just suggestive that we're getting a thinning in the advance here. And those charts all by themselves are not timing functions, but they are reflective of divergences, which as a technician give me pause. So
they're more or less danger signals that flash some warning lights.
Yes,
okay. We have a question
exactly
from one of our listeners. Did you follow the advanced decline line at all, Stan?
I do. And it has been essentially keeping pace with the New York Composite. But when divergences develop involving the New York Advanced Decline Line and the New York Composite Index, then that requires one clean off the glasses and take a close look. That is making new highs, along with the New York Composite. So that by itself is not flashing a warning. But these other divergences involving the 3 or 4 major indices I just cited are indicative of a top in the making.
Okay. That's pretty good. Listen, we're going to have you on again at 3:30 today, so thank you so much for joining us, and we always like to hear from you and know that you're in great health back there, and you're experiencing summertime back there in New Jersey now, right?
Indeed, we are. Great summer here in the Mid-Atlantic. And we'll have some more charts and some more detail later this afternoon we'll go into.
Oh, good. Do you miss that 116 heat there in Scottsdale? It's a dry heat, Stan. It's a dry heat, except Scottsdale got 3 inches of rain last Thursday. They actually had to shut the streets down. They couldn't. There was so much water it looked like kayak races. It was really something. They had not had 3 inches of rain in 4 hours in 60 years, so it was really something. Hey, listen, thanks for joining us, Stan. We really appreciate it.
We'll talk again in about 3 hours.
You betcha. Stan Harley, the Harley Stock Market Letter. Okay, folks, we're back here, just the two of us, the old TFNN group and the old cowboy. I wanted to show you what we were talking about with Mr. Z when we were on the line about looking at, an entry for the, re-entry of the gold, the Treasury bonds. You notice the high up there, which was at the 382, and then we broke all the way down. You can see we broke about $1,500, and then the rally back, believe it or not, within one tick of the exact 382 retracement, and it's also dropped another 300 points. Now, it's a really important signal, folks, and there's some characteristics of it that you really need to pay attention to. But the 2 things that you got to remember is that when it's wrong, it's really wrong. Now, look at the middle of this, around 6:05 to 7:05 in the morning New York time. That was a little 382 retracement of the high that you made up there. That was an indication that, yes, now if we break below that low, that tells you you're going down, and that's what the whole thing does. It not only tells you where to enter, but it gives you the highest risk reward of any pattern that I've ever seen. And it's great for the daily trading. It's good for intraday. You see it all the time. I mean, we saw 4 or 5 of them today in different things. So this is something that we're going to be talking about on our all-day trading session. I was kind of hoping today would have been one of those days, because this would have been a really, really perfect day for teaching and a perfect day for spotting these trades. But you're not going to be right every day. But we've had 3 of these, and they've done extremely well, so remind us. But by the way, tomorrow we're going to have John Jameson on the horn here tomorrow. He's going to be talking to us about this thing that's coming up here with Tesla. And I'll show you the chart on it in just a minute here, but he's going to be talking about standard deviations and how he used the rule of 3. In other words, whenever he looks at a market, he watches 3 different things, and he's going to talk to us about that. And also, we're going to discuss this thing about Tesla and, what the implied volatility is and what they're getting ready for the earnings and stuff. I'll cover that just a little bit when we get back from the break.
Up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, we're back, folks, and hopefully get October hogs up here. And you can see here that they've been in this this is only a 15-minute chart, but as you can see here, we've been heading down a little bit. It looks like they're going to break and go a little bit lower, but there's so much other stuff jumping around here that you got to focus on where they're paying cash, and they're paying cash in the bond markets, crude oil, stock indices and stuff like that. That's the main thing. If you'll bear with me here just 1 second, I think it's important enough here, at least from my standpoint here, to go over something we just talked about, and that was how these markets, and this is what John is going to be talking to us about on tomorrow a little bit, along with the standard deviations. It's how these algorithmic traders do this. Now, remember now, folks, this is the last 10 days in the NASDAQ. But look at the lows. Every single significant low here, whether it's backed off, has been right at a fib number. They know what these numbers are, and they know standard deviations, and that's why he's going to be talking to us about it. But the main thing that we're going to be talking about is about Tesla, because everybody likes to watch this stock, and John wants to just, for kicks and giggles, just show what we're looking for here on Friday. Now, remember now, John is an options specialist because, the options markets are many, many times bigger than the futures market. So that's what he's watching. But here's what they're planning right now for Tesla. Right now, the implied volatility just a minute ago, 15 minutes ago, was 87%. In other words, they're saying that 87% of the time, you're either going to hit one standard deviation on the upside or one standard deviation on the other side. Right now, that was $47. So that's going to be up around $700. They're expecting the market to go there, or they're expecting it drop down to 610. Now, that's a pretty big swing. If you do something right now with the options, you're basically you're in bad shape. The reason why is you're giving up too much. They've built all that in already. Now, you're going to have to wait till the market, till that earnings come out, and then you might be able to do it. Sell at the first standard deviation on the upside, or you could buy the first standard deviation on the second side. But that's what John wants to talk to you about, is try to put the odds in your favor. It's all about, probability and, expectations and risk control, and that's what options are really good for. But right now, they're stacking the deck. No matter what happens with Tesla, it's going to be a bad deal unless you actually you guessed on the right side of it. And guessing is not always an easy thing to do. So remind ourselves that's what we're doing. Someone asked a question about the coffee. I'll have to bring this up again. And they said, why did I even post this thing? Well, I posted it for a learning experience. I said, not in order to sell, but a way to learn the importance of the 382. I don't trade coffee. Now, if this was really bearish, Coffee would not have gotten above 195. It opened at 199 and it's gone to 215. It's gone way above the highs of Friday. That exceeds the high from 5 years ago, folks. Get ready, Mr. Starbuck is going to be getting in your britches now for your old $3.98 coffee. It's going to be $4.98. So get ready, but you can go to McDonald's and get it for $1 a cup if you're a coffee drinker. So let's remind ourselves that's what's really looking at. The other question about, we just missed the move in soybeans. That was just a really nice setup, of the ones that we were looking, but we just missed it by a second. I'll bring it up here to show you what we were watching here. We were trying to buy this down here at the 325 level. We got down to 332. We missed it by about 7 cents, but you can see here that we have this really nice, and this is just a 2-minute chart, but it's certainly tradable. You can see the really nice ABCD pattern up there at 347. You drop $750 down to the old low, and then you start up, and look, you make that nice little 382 pullback right here, and that's where you have to watch, folks. When these trends change, that's how they do it, and there's factors that you got to look at to say, yeah, is this right? And that's the one you have. That's what's all about, risk control. So that's it. That happens to be in another hemisphere, Ruby. The coffee is I believe in Brazil. I don't even know the answer to that because I thought it was Brazil, but it has to be Brazil because it's wintertime back there. What am I talking about? The reason, you know how I know that? Yeah, of course it's Brazil. Do you know how I know that? Because when my kids were little and I was living in Westlake Village and working for Drexel, every Wednesday I would go to the farmer's market to Esther Kaplan. She had a beautiful fruit section there from fruits from all over the world. And every Wednesday she'd have a little basket there for me for my kids. I didn't buy them toys. I bought them berries, and they loved cherries and plums and peaches when they're out of season. So she would always have a little basket there for me. So one day I go to pick up the basket, and she's waiting on another couple, and she leaves the other couple and says, wait a minute. She says, I have to go take care of my favorite customer. And this couple sort of giggled and laughed, and I'm looking over there, and I said, Esther, I said, you don't know who those folks are, do you? And they were smiling, and she said, of course not. And I said, well, that's John Derrick and his wife, Bo Derrick. And they introduced themselves and everything. So I walked over and had to shake hands with him and her. And boy, oh boy, that was a real treat. Anyway, she laughed about it. She said, these people come and go all the time. She says, you're here all the time. So anyway, that's how I know that it was when it's summertime in the United States. It's wintertime down there. So it's wintertime is when I would get the fruit for them, and they certainly they still remembered it. That's amazing thing to look at. My daughter Jill called me yesterday to ask me about some history stuff, and she said, Dad, when we first moved to Westlake Village, there was a big earthquake. Do you remember when that was? I said, yes, it was February of 71. We just moved in, and it was a really big one, 7.1. She said, do you remember what you did? I said, no, I don't. She said, you remember you grabbed me and you grabbed Laren out of the bedroom and you ran outside onto the cul-de-sac and set us there and made us wait until it was all over. And I said, oh, yes. I said, I remember now. I said, the way I remember, Jill, is I remember picking you up, but Laren, I said, I didn't know if I wanted to take her or not, so she grabbed hold of my leg and I had to drag her out there. Anyway, she thought that was rather funny. The problem was she called up Laren to tell her the story. Of course, Laren knew it was a joke, but yeah, there was earthquakes. We had 4 or 5 of them during the time we were there. Never any damage. Lost a few glasses here and there, but nothing where we had any trouble at all. But there's one coming, my guess, but when it is, I don't know. I will be doing another show for Eli Lilly. Shut up, Larry. For Tom O'Brien at 12:30. It's going to be totally different than this, folks. I saw one of the most amazing videos I've ever seen. My wife shared it with me from China while the flooding over there. A little 3-year-old girl had drowned. And a passerby came by, picked up the little girl, flipped her over his back like a backpack, and ran around in a circle, jumping up and down, laid her down on the ground, gave her CPR, and the little girl popped out just as brand new, talking to her mommy. I mean, that shook me up all weekend long to see that a stranger come by and did something like that. I'd never seen anything like that, and it was really really emotional. Of course, the people that were there thought it was pretty emotional too, but they've had a lot of rain over there, just like we've had here. We had in Scottsdale, they had 3 inches of rain, I mentioned before, and that is a lot of rain. That they can't handle that kind of stuff. But right now it's okay, and we'll be moving on to the next one. We're going to take a break here. 877-927-6648.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of The Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we're talking just a little bit about the show that I'm going to be doing for Tom O'Brien at 12:30. I worked for Eli Lilly for quite a while, and they have a new ad out, and it is a real scary one. And the reason why is it features a transgender male and some other things that never would have happened under the auspices of the Colonel Eli Lilly. I'll go into the history of that, but I'm still on an email list with some of these old guys that I've worked with 45, 50 years ago, and 55 years ago, and we share stories and stuff. But they have a petition going out to take this ad off the air. They're so bottom. Almost all these guys are pharmacists, so they're highly prejudicial, I guess, or whatever you want to do it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I was going to talk about some of the Lilly stock and how some of these goes. I'm also going to focus on some of the stocks that we've seen move around. Netflix, all of these, the ones that are really important, especially the ones with the COVID stocks, because they're getting ready to give us COVID number 6 or COVID number 25, whatever it's going to be. It's going to be one after another for sure. At least what I think it's going to be. So we'll be looking at that at the half-hour break. And I think there was a couple other. I think there's about 8 different stocks that I wanted to cover. And if you have any questions, you can call in then, and we can talk about it also. But we are, like Stan said, I think over a very critical area in the market. It may go up forever, and we'll watch it go up forever because it's going to be interesting when it does roll over. You can see what's happened in Hong Kong, folks. If you got my video early last night, right before it opened, it looked like it was ready to. It opened down like 200 and it dropped 800 points in one day, and that is a huge, huge drop. So these are the kind of things that we want to be watching as we look at this. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude. I hope to see you at 12:30. May God bless. And if not, we'll see you on the flip side tomorrow. And we have that's it. We'll see Tim Bost on the 29th.